booing John Terry, and I brought him up with regard to Gareth Barry. And Adrian is here on TalkSport to defend himself. Good morning, Mr. Durham.
Morning, Eddie.
Morning. Ronnie, for 2 years I've given you the benefit of the doubt, mate, but you proved you're an idiot this morning. There's no other way around it.
Go on, then.
Now, first things first, if you're going to criticise me, this applies to both of you, if you're going to criticise me, then you need to listen to what I say and you need to know what you're talking about, and both of you fail on both counts.
Well, you are the voice of football, Adrian, so go on.
Secondly, on Terry, we'll get to that in a second. Firstly, Gareth Barry. Ask any Man City fan, and this is where it stemmed from. Man City fans texting into the show. He's been incredibly average for the most part of the season. That's not me saying it, it's City fans. Now, after they texted in, I watched him in a couple of games. He was slow, he needed more than one touch on the ball, and his first touch was terrible. I also said last night on the show, if you bothered to listen, that even though he's not having a great season, it'd be a major shock if Capello left him out because he's played such a huge part in the qualifying campaign. So listen to what I say, otherwise I might sue you.
All right, well, regarding him then, I'd rather listen to Mark Hughes, Mancini, and take Capello's judgment. Adrian, before yours, the voice of football, if that's all right.
Nobody's allowed an opinion.
No, I'll take their opinion before yours, that's all. I'll listen to yours, but I'll take their... Carry on, sir.
What, before Man City fans as well, yeah?
Well, Man City fans, Mancini, Mark Hughes...
Isn't TalkSport about fans having their say, Ronnie?
Everyone can have their say, but it's who do you listen to and who do you believe? Do I believe Adrian Durham or do I believe Mancini or Mark Hughes? Well, that's fine. We're allowed our opinions, as you say.
It's about listening to a variety of opinions. Now, I'll take on their points of view, but I'll also listen to the likes of Mancini and Mark Hughes and realise, of course, they're going to defend their player. They're never going to openly criticise them, are they? So, yeah, take it on board, listen to what they're saying, have a listen to the fans who pay a lot of money. Usually, Ronnie, that's what you do when you go to a football match, pay a lot of money. Which brings me on to John Terry. Unlike you, Ronnie, I have turned down offers from Nationwide, from the Wembley Plaza Hotel, free tickets for tonight's game. Turned them down because I am a proper fan. Pays his money and therefore has the right to say what he likes. And you can check, if you like, with Ali from the FA. I've paid 80 quid for 2 tickets tonight to go and watch
Send them
England.
back,
And
Adrian. Send them back.
The right. That gives me... Listen, let me finish what I'm saying, and then you can come back. That means that gives me the right to say what I want and let John Terry know how I feel. Now, Terry's actions mean Capello cannot pick the left-back he wanted to pick tonight, and that, for me, is a negative for England caused by the former captain, and I'm not happy with it because I thought he was 100% all for the England cause, and clearly that is not the case. Now, if he proves me wrong tonight and shows full commitment to the England cause, I'll forgive him. If he'd apologised already, I'd have forgiven him. But right now, I feel like an England fan who wants to let John Terry know that he's let me down.
So you're an England supporter,
I agree with you, Adrian. It's a moot point anyway, because I don't think Terry should be playing tonight. I don't think he's in the right frame of mind to represent England.
Well, I think he should be playing to let us... I want to see whether he's still got the commitment for England, because right now I'm questioning that. His actions have left me questioning it. I don't want to question it, because I actually thought he was a really good player. I thought he was a good leader as well. And now I'm questioning all of that. So I want John Terry to show me tonight on the pitch, yes, I'm all for the England cause. And I want to come away from that game tonight. I want to come away from it thinking, yeah, we're all together. We're all fighting for the cause. And actually, do you know what? Wainbridge is missing out. He should be here with this.
I was listening to you. I was listening to you yesterday, Adrian, and you did make one good point. That it was.
No, I made more than one good point.
It was one.
Well, listen. Hang on. You let me finish this time. You mentioned the fact that it's England fans' first chance since all this broke to have their say as supporters. So I can understand to a point why people would want to boo, why people would want to, get stuck into John Terry. But it's this. Is it not the same argument, Adrian, as when you boo a player in a league game that you might as well put on the opposition shirt, wear the opposition scarf, wave the opposition flag, and there you are, Egypt. Go and take the easy win in the friendly and take advantage of a horrible atmosphere at Wembley.
Listen, that's a true fan speaking. I understand that, and I've never ever booed a Peterborough player, and there's been some bad ones. However, if this was the start of the World Cup, if this was the first game at the World Cup, I would say no. We've just got to cut it off and let it go. But this is a friendly. We are building up to the tournament. Yeah, fine. And actually, beyond this, I think we should just call it a day after this and let John Terry go and let him get on with playing football for England. But right now, tonight, there's fans who've had to put up with loads of rubbish in the papers over the last few weeks, loads of rubbish from John Terry, who clearly can't behave himself and should know better as a captain of club and country. And I want him to prove us wrong. I want him to show us.
Yeah, you want him to show you, Adrian. Adrian, you want him to show him, but you're happy to bag him, boo him, and stand on him tonight. Let him deliver. Don't just boo him, Adrian. Let him do it.
Let's see what he's made of. No,
yeah, but you by booing him, what's that going to gain?
He's got away with it from Chelsea, who have basically said, yeah, it's okay, go and do what you want, and there's no problem. The Chelsea fans on Saturday, he was terrible on Saturday, by the way, and that was with the Chelsea fans cheering him and booing Bridge. Okay, so maybe booing might actually get to John Terry, get into his head a bit, and actually say to him, do you know what, I have done wrong, and it's about time, I've got something to prove here. I don't think he's got anything to prove. I think he's thinking...
It's an interesting point, Adrian, because probably since the age of 8, and I've said this before on TalkSport, since the age of probably 8 or 9, very few people have said no to John Terry or given him the impression that what he's doing is wrong. Because exactly, and this, if it does happen tonight, and from what you told me and from what you understand from yesterday, it is going to happen tonight that he's going to get stick on the field. His response will be interesting. What I also want to ask you about, Adrian, is Theo Walcott. Now, you mentioned in the text that you get from Manchester City fans about Gareth Barry's poor form this season. You know and I know how many texts we get from Arsenal fans saying, why is Theo Walcott wearing an Arsenal shirt? He's got all this wonderful quick turn of pace, but he hasn't got a footballing brain to go with it. Where do you stand on the Theo Walcott debate?
I'm puzzled by it. All I can remember is the Theo Walcott that scored the hat-trick. That's what he can do. That's what I want him to do.
Against an average left-back for Croatia in Zagreb.
Well, there are some average left-backs going to be at the World Cup. I think, for me, he goes to the World Cup. Whether he starts or not is between now and the end of the season. We see how his form is. But I dug out a couple of weeks ago, because I do my research, Ronnie. I dug out a couple of weeks ago a quote from Arsene Wenger 2 years ago saying why he signed Theo Walcott. And he said he signed him because he's got pace, bags of pace, but also, having watched him 50 times, he had his scouts watch him 50 times, he signed him because he knows when to make his run and when not to make his run. Now, that tells me Wenger thought he had a football brain. So what has happened since he's been at Arsenal? So I'd question, there's been injuries involved, absolutely fine, no problem with that. I'd question, one, what the under-21s did with him last summer. He shouldn't have played last summer for Stuart Pearce's side. I think that was a big mistake. Yep. Not only did he take him to that tournament, kept leaving him on the bench. What a scandal that was. So he shouldn't have gone in the first place, should have rested him. And secondly, I do question what is happening at Arsenal. Now, he keeps getting game time when he's fit at Arsenal. I haven't got a problem with that. It's just what they're doing with him, whether he should be on the wing, whether he should be in the middle. Does Arsene Wenger know what to do with him? And was Arsene Wenger wrong when he said he's got a football brain?
It's what I was saying earlier, Adrian. I wonder whether he should have stayed at Southampton a year longer, or if he was going to move to another club that would give him, I don't know, more first-team chances.
Possibly, but I think the chance at a top-4 club, and I don't think he's been that bad. And let's not forget, you were saying a moment ago, both of you, that he's a young lad still. Absolutely, I think you said, Ron, he's still in nappies when it comes to football, and absolutely spot on. So let's just, he should go to the World Cup. When you think about the 23 best players in this country, he's got to be one of those. Yeah. For heaven's sake, one of the best 23 English players. He's got to go to the World Cup, but you've got to give him time.
I need to ask you though. You talk about your research and whatever you do now. How can booing somebody have... You said, I want to see John Terry have a positive effect on John Terry by booing him.
Yep.
You need to educate me, Adrian. How's booing somebody going to have a positive effect on him?
Well, flip around what happened on Saturday. The Chelsea fans are cheering him to the hill, and he was rubbish.
No, just booing him tonight. How can that have a positive effect? That's all.
Let me try and explain, mate. Now, just take a rest, give the mouth a rest, and have a listen to this. The Chelsea fans were cheering him on Saturday, and he was rubbish.
I know that.
Right, I'm about to explain. Will you let me finish or not? Right. The Chelsea fans were cheering him and he was rubbish. Now that tells me that if you flip that around, you boo him, it might actually work the other way around. Because all the Chelsea fans are doing is saying, carry on doing what you're doing, John, you're fine. But no, he's not. He's not fine at all. As Martin Samuel's brilliant piece in the Mail says this morning, he's not fine. He's in a mess.
Yeah, keep quiet and let him play football.
But I don't think that's the Chelsea fans supported him and he was rubbish. So I don't think he realises what a mess he's in. So he needs to be told. He needs to be told that the people he's serving, when he's wearing the 3 lions, the people he's serving aren't happy with how he treated the England captaincy. I don't think he's aware of that. So what's wrong with us telling him that?
All right, Adrian, listen, you're back at 4 with Goffey, and then you've got to try and get on the Jubilee line and get over to Wembley for 8 o'clock, I suppose.
No, we've got the limo bike. We're on the back of motorbikes, the pair of us.
Right.
Oh, but that's cost you a few quid, hasn't it?
We're here. I've paid for Goffey, mate. I've paid
Nobody's
for Goffey.
paid for Goffey tonight.
Doesn't I tell you what, Adrian,
I know, he's another freebie merchant.
Adrian, doesn't it feel so much better when you hand your money over and you get something in return? Doesn't it feel so much better that way?
In a bizarre and very surrealistic way, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I had to pay to go and watch the gig last night that I went to go and see, and it feels so much better knowing that I paid for it rather than got a freebie. Anyway, Adrian.
When it comes to football, yeah, you're right. Because you want to pay your money and then say what you want, and that's what I do.
No, that's what you do this afternoon at 4. Cheers, Adrian. Adrian Durham.